Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. This channel is for educations and technology only. So in the previous videos, I have shared a platform of the traditional Chinese martial art, which is applicable for the 1850s Wing Chun. And the model is, in a martial art, the first thing is the courage, the second is the strength, the third is the techniques. And the courage and techniques is supported, need to be supported, must be supported by the strength. And in the previous video, I have shared with you that strength consists of breathing and the body mechanics conditioning. So please watch my my recent video if you want to know about the strength. Now, so there are another two components here, which is the courage and the techniques. So today I'd like to go through with you, to share with you on the courage part. We need to understand exactly what the ancient means in order to be able to comprehend and to experience what is traditional Chinese martial arts or the 1850 Wing Chun. We simply cannot just go guessing. For past about 100 years, if you look at traditional Chinese martial arts, the situation is that people create things without without knowing what is the ancient Chinese presenting. And with that, it turned into a big mess. It is not even traditional Chinese martial art anymore. It is some kinds of new creations, modern creations, and often it is incomplete. Say, for example, we have this courage and techniques, which is sit on top of the strength, which has to base on strength. Okay, because we are human, we are not some kind of ghost or spirit. You need your body, you need the strength, and the courage need to support by strength, and the techniques need to support by strength. Now, techniques is not about hand. This hand fighting this hand, that hand fighting that techniques. Techniques, in the ancient Chinese definitions, is the handling of impulse momentum. That's why in Wing Chun there is a term. They said what? Do not chase hand. Go for the body. That is impulse momentum, because your body have the weight. You want to handle the weight of the body or the momentum, okay? And you move in fighting, you move your body weight. And all the so-called techniques is the handling of impulse momentum. Thus, in the Western boxing way of handle the impulse momentums, and the Jiu-Jitsu way is different. Wing Chun way is different. Choi Lei Fat way is different, because they are different style. Different style meaning they have different ways, the uniqueness of handling their impulse momentum. So, if you look at today, people talk about, I have this Tan Sao, again this hand, and then I turn into this Bong Sao, all this thing. Well, you're talking about the hand techniques. That is not what the ancient Chinese talk about. Hand techniques is just a small section of the impulse momentum. Same thing is like we talk about Fajing techniques, inch power techniques. Well, it is just a small sections of the impose momentum here, which is the ancient Chinese mean. Or you want to fight, you have to have the impose momentum handling. You want to have the courage, and you have to back up by your strength of the body, your cardio, your stamina. You cannot say, well, you know, keep punching, faster, what do you call it, a chain punch. Well, if you don't have the strength, the stamina, the cardio, the breathing, how the world we're going to punch fast? How long can we last? So misleading for the past 100 years is keeping talking about techniques and not the entire thing. Well, it is not traditional Chinese martial arts. Chinese martial arts doesn't say that. Chinese martial arts say you have to have the strength first. And then that strength development is the bottom line of your Kung Fu. It's called 基本功 in Mandarin. The basic Kung Fu. You have to have this. That's why you go watch movie, you go read everything the ancient, they ask you to, the ancient Chinese ask the student to stand 100 days in the hot stand. Why? Develop this. Okay? So we're going to talk about this later on. And today we're going to go for the courage. What courage got to do with your mind? How you handle your mind. Okay? And also, for past 100 years, it doesn't matter it's internal art or external art or whatever style, you see people keep creating their guessing of what is a mind. Okay, so in this style you have mind power, in that lineage you have mind power. So what is this mind power style? It is the ancient here is like, you want to fight, the first is you need to have the courage, support by your strength, and then you have the techniques of handling the momentum. That's simple. Okay, didn't we say Wing Chun is simple? That's simple, that clear, you know, that clear. Now, so what is this courage stuff? What's courage have to do with your mind? How you think, how you handle your mind. Okay? And why do you need that courage? Well, we always ask people, can your staff work under pressure? Didn't we always ask the question? Can your whatever you talk about works under pressure? Well, the ancient Chinese already give us the answer. You want it to be able to work under pressure, you better have the strength. You better know how to deal with your mind. You better have the techniques of handling the impulse momentum. You have to have these three. So mainly when this is not work, it's like this techniques. People say, well, I can do this techniques this way, that techniques this way. If you come this way, I go do this way, you come do this way. It's like if I do chi sao and suddenly you go take down, then I can do this way, I can do that way. Well, is that true? If you look at the real takedown, the momentum come in first, and also they bait you. If they want to take down your leg, they are going to pull you first, let you struggle with them. When you struggle, you try to pull back, that's where we're going down. Okay, that's one of the scenario. And if we don't have strength, we don't know how to handle the body, the breathing. How is the techniques? While in the chi sao can right away handle the takedown. It's impossible. Why? If you look at all the jiu-jitsu guy, the MMA guy play, they are not standing there without the strength. They bait you with their momentum and then lead to the takedown momentum. So it's not hand techniques. Okay? So you want to work under pressure? We better get all this thing clear. And we better, if we don't know, we better learn. Instead of just, I have my 5 cents. That's why in this channel we choose to present what is happening in the past. Cannot be, it's Hendrik's opinion, Hendrik's 5 cents. I am the grandmaster. I am the what do you call it? The direct descendant of the Yikam. So I am the grandmaster. I have the say. No, that's not the way how it is. It's not like saying that in the physics department, I am the grandson of the or great grandsons of the Sir Isaac Newton. So I have everything to say. No, you don't do that. You follow what Sir Isaac Newton wrote in that principle, the book. Okay? It's better go that way. It's fair for everybody, it's honest for everybody. And the most important thing is, it's not screwing other people for my own selfish benefit. It got to be that way. We need to think public-minded. And of course, this is like in the physics, studying physics of Newton. We are not talking about fight violence. Can your staff work under pressure? So if you don't agree with me, let's go fight. Well, what is the point of this fight? Well, we can analyze with the ancient Chinese model, the strength, the impulse momentum handling, and the courage, meaning how you handle your mind. Well, with this, you can see, you can analyze, you can see right away, is there a possibility? If there's a possibility, it be able to handle it. Then the rest is due to, either you are better than me or I'm better than you. But it's based on this. Now, if you look at only some techniques without addressing the strength and the mind handling, what is the chance for that can work under pressure? It is missing component. And even worse, if you say I have some kind of chi power, I have some kind of mind power. Well, I have no idea of impulse momentum handling, have no development of the the strength, the breathing, the body mechanics, and have no idea of what exactly the ancient talk about mind. Now you living in fantasy. Okay? Will that work under pressure? It's going to collapse when you go stand in the cage of the UFC. It's going to go down. It's going down when you face Xi Xiaodong. So why do you want to do that? Why do we want to do that? Okay? Now, let's get into this courage, mind handling. So mind handling, you need to, psychologically, mentally, you need to be able to work under pressure. Well, this is not up to anybody to define it. There's no grandmaster in the past 160 years have any capability or position to define things. Why? Because in the ancient Chinese culture, be it from Shaolin, which is Buddhist, from Taoist, or Confucians, it is well defined. Mind, the area of mind, is a very clear, well defined area. So one cannot say, I have this mind power, I go spiritual. If you look at the Shaolin book, over here it say that if you want to practice, if you want to study fighting, okay, you can snapshot there. If you want to study fighting, if you have to study fighting, the first rule, you need first to study immovable heart or immovable mind. If you want to study fighting, you need to study Anapanasati of Buddhism, counting breath meditations. Okay, in the book of Shaolin. Well, do we know what the heck is Anapanasati? Well, that's Indian term, right? Buddha teach that, right? So don't get into the mindfulness and all this this today's spiritual and all this new age stuff. Without knowing what is anapanasati and vipassana, how the world is one, know what is the mindfulness. Your mind doesn't know what it is, which I'm going to explain to you later here, okay? So in the ancient, there's anapanasati because it's Buddhist art. So in the Shaolin document, it said that you study anapanasati if you want to practice fighting, you want to learn about fighting. Anapanasati, meaning you enter into samadhi. You want to go fight, you have the courage, you have a stable mind, you need to enter the samadhi, was Buddhist term. So how do we know that this is a real or fake? Well, it is a Shaolin art, it is Buddhist art, and it mentioned anapanasati. Well, we better know what it is. And we can check in this book. It is about the stillness or the calmness and the wisdom. Wisdom is the vipassana side. Well, this is the Chinese book translate. A Chinese book 1,500 years ago translate, okay, into English today, so that we can read it. This is the example of the Taoists, okay, in this book by Grandmaster Zhou Quanchuan. It's about Taoists. You talk about mind, okay, contemplations. Okay, it's talk about contemplation, how to handle the mind. Now, if we don't have idea on this, what are we going to talk about Wing Chun mind power? We can, because we don't even know what happened. And also, in the Wing Chun Inception, if you look at this, the first line of Xiu Lim Tao, that is where it get from Yellow Emperor Classic, the Zen, the mergers, all linked together. Now we understand what is mind mean, because the first line saying that return, quiet the mind, return to awareness. Quiet the mind, return to awareness. That's the first line of Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao quit 1850. You want to have courage, you want to be able to handle under pressure, then we better can get our mind. Okay, quiet the mind, return to awareness. And how to do that? It's stated here, the common denominator, it's all this stuff. Okay? Well, unless we know this, what are we going to do? Just keeping create our stuff? Which is nonsense at all, okay? And it's going to mislead everybody. Now, in the Wing Chun Inception, in the C model, you see mind is under here. When you want to practice Qigong or whatever, you always have to be here. You go to 2C, always got to be here. Now, because you need to settle mind. So, as here, as in this map which we showed the other day, there's 2C here. This is where you need to understand the mind, like in this model, in page 67. And that link to your heart rate. Your heart rate. When you get scared, your heart rate is going to skyrockets. When you can calm down and settle, that means your heart rate is going to rest down. It's not skyrocketing. Okay? Now, so there's a training there for, and this is well defined in the 1850s creed. Okay, in the 1850s creed, how to deal with the mind and the sun and so forth. Okay, so that is what it is in the ancient. It is a complete, basic or comprehensive, should say the term comprehensive, basic training, development of that. Okay, so be able to deal with this under pressure stuff. Now, For the mind, we need to know. Okay, we need to know. Like in the basic Wing Chun art and science and the meditation matrix, because all those things, all those what you have here is actually a common denominator of this thing. If we don't have this, we don't have the common denominator, we cannot solve what is the first line, even the first line of the Xiu Lian Tao Kui. That's how serious it is. I cannot go just what do you call it, invent my stuff and call it because I'm Hendrik Grandmaster. I do this mind thing and that mind thing. You need to follow all this thing because this is all states. So this is all teach one how to use one's mind, how to train one. Now, as in the Wing Chun, basic Wing Chun art and science, and if you want a deeper thing in the meditations and so forth, you know, Anapanasati, Vipassana, in this two books, we know the mind element have four functions. Namely thinking, imaginations, attention or intention, and awareness. There are four functions in the mind. We need to know how to which function to use. Well, if you say if we want to fight in the competition, okay, fight in the competition. If our mind keeping spinning, I want to use this technique, that technique, well, you're dead, because now you trapped in the thinking. You need to have awareness. Awareness is what Wing Chun calls sensing. We sense stuff. We aware of stuff. Aware is sensing. When the ancient Chinese said listen to hand, okay, listen to jing, thinking in the Cantonese or ting jing in the Mandarin. Ting is not using your ear to listen. Ting means listen. Ting is not use your ear to listen. Ting, the Chinese mean ting is mean aware of. Okay? Well, there's a mind function. This is the one of the mind function. Now, if we don't develop that, we don't even know which function are we going to use at what time. You're standing like that, you're facing the opponent in the competition. And keeping thinking. The more you think, the more you get scared. Or the more you think, the more you get sloppy. Because you say, well, I'm the giant, I'm the #1 fighter. Well, the more I think, I'm going to trap in my tunnel visions, and then I'm trapped in my own fantasy, and then I know I get so blown up that I think I'm a superhero. Well, I get sloppy. Or I'm so scared that, hey, you watch out, he might be keeping me this way, he might be come down this way, and then you scare there, and then you just disable yourself and disarm yourself. Well, at that situations, you don't want to think. You just want to aware. What is this? I forgot about myself. I just aware. I turn into awareness. And you just watch, aware of what the opponent is moving. What is he doing? What is his impulse momentum? And again, you need to have the impulse momentum handling. Otherwise, what are you doing? Okay? And this impulse momentum is like a car running into us. We are aware of how the car running into us, we go walk sideways. Okay? To avoid the accident. So, we need to know what is the function. And then within the function, there are 3 states in the mind. The settled state, the quiet state, and the peace state. Which is, it is in more details is in here and also in this book. Well, what is a settled state? Settled state is like, can we settle down so that we comprehend something when people talk about something? Usually, I know people is not settling because there are many Wing Chun friends of us. They sometimes they ask me questions on my video here, okay, this channel here. Like the other day, I'm talking about breathing, and then this other friend is talking about sensation in Qigong. Well, that give me the indications that you don't even settle your mind. You don't even be able to settle your mind. Because you don't even know what I'm talking about. When I say breathing, you go running into Qigong, you go running into this sensation in Qigong and all this, those. Well, that tell me you don't even know how to settle your mind. Because like the other day when I mentioned breathing, I mentioned the Qigong state, the aerobic state, the anaerobic state, where you want to check with scientifically with your heart rate monitor. Instead of going, you know, oh, I have this sensation too, I have this thing too. Well, I have no idea what is the 2C state. So that tell me you couldn't even settle your mind. So it doesn't matter how long one practice one's martial arts. If one cannot settle one's mind, you couldn't even know what is going on out there. Isn't it so? After settle, there's quiet. Well, what is quiet state is about? Well, quiet state is about like when you drive a car. When you drive a car, you can see, you know, your car. When you go to highway, you know, there's a when you're driving a car, then you see car comes and car goes and all those things. It doesn't bother you. You just drive your car, and all this car go back and forth. It doesn't bother you. That is the quiet state. Quiet state meaning doesn't mean that you sit down there listen to music. Like today's there are many meditations. Just sit down there listen to music. Oh, this is so quiet, so beautiful. No, it's not that. It is exactly like in the highway. You're traveling in the, say, 65 miles per hour or 120 kilometers or so forth. That high speed. Things going back very high speed. Doesn't matter. It doesn't bother you. It's just quiet now. That is the state of the quiet. So what is the state of peace? Well, peace meaning that like you, the same way like you driving in the highway. Somebody by some accident or anything suddenly cut in front of you. You just avoid it very gently to the next lane and you go. That's called peace. You don't go, people cut into you right away. You just go, you know, you blow up there and want to get even, blah, blah, blah. That is not peace. Okay? So all this is kung fu. You first need to settle down. Oh, I understand what it is. Like in the driving a car. You get into the car and then you settle down. I'm not driving a car. I am not in the one way driving the car this way and the other. My eyes is looking at the pretty car beside me or the home over here or who is walking the street. Okay, so I'm driving a car. I settle now. My purpose, my purpose, my goal is set. I know what it is, and I'm listening. And again, it's like the other day I'm talking about. One seek to understand. Okay, first, you want to listen to somebody talking. You need to sit down and settle your mind and comprehend what other people's presenting. It's like when you drive a car, you settle down, you look at the road, oh, this is the road. Instead of you just go turn side around and then you just do whatever you want, that's not settled. How is one supposed to have those kinds of mentality with very confusion mentality, have any kung fu? Have any courage or be able to work under pressure? And if you read here the first line in the Wing Chun Inception, the first line of the Wing Chun 修炼Tao writing is saying that what? Quiet the mind, return to awareness. So you need to go through this. If your Kung Fu is more advanced, you from settle, you go quiet, going to peace. But at least the minimum one need to be able to settle one's mind. That's why when they say quiet the mind, return to awareness, to the minimum we want to be able to do that. We want to know what the heck is this. And then when we practice this longer, it go to quiet and and peaceful and peace state. Well, it's all in here. Okay, it is in Buddhist meditations, in Anapanasati, in the Taoist meditations, in the Shaolin practice. So that's mind. So now we know this, and today, you know, that in the previous video you go through this, and today we look into this briefly. If you want to have details, get the book, and then study it. Then we know what it is. Okay. And next time, you know, we're going to go through this technique stuff. So this is about mind. Now, unless we know this, we have no idea. We couldn't even read. We couldn't even comprehend what is the ancient is talking about. And then it will be really ridiculous if we try to use all this mind power to explain things in the strength or techniques. Well, mind is mind. I can think whatever I want to go to San Francisco. I can think whatever I want. But if I don't have a car or a train or a bus, how the world I'm going to go to San Francisco from San Jose? Well, that you need strength, right? You need a car to support your brain, your body to go there. Or even if you want to walk, you need the strength. So this is to share with you today, okay? We need to get this thing clear. Otherwise, there is no traditional Chinese martial arts. Because we do whatever we want, okay? Like internal art. Well, you want to do things soft, slow. How is that doing thing in this Qigong and low aerobic area get one to be able to function in anaerobic where all the sportmen and the MMA people play? How? How is get into this Qigong, not even understand the Qigong, but keeping design, what? Define one's own mind, is this, mind, is that? Got anything to do with this? Got anything to do with this? So that's why education is needed. Without education, it is a mess, okay? That's why we need that. We need to understand what is going on. Without the education, we have no clue what it is. And thus, as I can share with you, I'm not some kind of grandmaster or anything. I'm just go tracking down all this book and understand it and read it and practice as what the ancients said. That's why I be able to write these books. It is not some kind of advanced stuff. I'm not some guru or superstar or grandmaster. No, I'm just very basic, like a kindergarten or the elementary school or the high school kids. I study this from the ancient, and I share with you, this exists in the ancient. Okay?